Hey everyone, welcome back to For the Record. Thank you for joining me. So, I contemplated on doing this live. I actually, in fact, had already recorded the video, but I didn't like how my opinion was coming across. I don't think I was clear with my point or my opinion, and I wanted to do another video to make sure that my point is made. So this video is regarding the new HBO documentary called Leaving Neverland. The documentary, it's two-parter, 2 hours each, part 1 and 2, and it's based, sort of circles around these two men who were boys at the time. A documentary that dives deep into allegations from these two men about the sexual abuse allegations towards Michael Jackson. One man claims from the age of 7 to 14 Michael Jackson sexually assaulted him. The other one claims the same thing. I don't remember his age exactly, but he was a young boy into his teens. First, I made a few notes because I want to make sure I get my point across. First and foremost, I'm not a Michael Jackson freak who is trying to show that he's innocent, clear his name, what have you. It's not my point. I just, you know, with a documentary, in my opinion, a documentary is meant to document or show something in a unbiased way. Okay, sort of not shedding light on one thing. If you're going to document something or show a documentary on something, you shed the light on the whole thing, sort of a yin and a yang, kind of show, you know, everything. But in short, what I felt about the documentary, to call Leaving Neverland a documentary is a kick in the face to documentary filmmakers. Dan Reed, the director, should not ever get behind the camera again. Leaving Neverland is a zero fact based, one-sided film. At no point in time is any statement backed by facts or someone else confirming any and all allegations against Michael Jackson. The documentary doesn't, I was asked, what do you think, what does it waive? Right or left, you know, for or against him? It doesn't waive, it literally shows just statements of these two kids, these two men and their family, of, you know, of allegations. It doesn't shine a light on anything. It just literally just right on what they're saying with nothing to back it up. The only thing in the documentary that shows anything is, I guess, the maid back in 2005 had said that she had seen Michael Jackson taking a shower with a boy. Now, I'm not saying any of that's okay. You know, we all know that Michael Jackson, for some odd reason, liked to have boys sleep in the same room and sometimes in the same bed as him. That's wrong. But to do that and then to have allegations of sexual assault, it's so. What else? I made a couple of other notes. And for years, these two men kept saying, no, never happened, never happened, never happened. Macaulay Culkin and another boy were questioned, and they said Michael Jackson, to this day, said, no, Michael Jackson never touched me in any sexual way, never forced anything on me, nothing like that. And Michael Jackson and Macaulay Culkin were really good friends. Same thing with there was another actor, Corey Feldman. I was going to say Corey Haim. Corey Feldman was a very close, dear friend of Michael Jackson. And if anybody is going to say anything about sexual assault, it's going to be Corey Feldman. All right. He's come out forward of allegations of directors or producers in films he's done that have sexually assaulted him. And he's claimed all along Michael Jackson has never, ever, ever sexually assaulted him or touched him in any way, shape, or form that was inappropriate. Okay? And coming from Corey Feldman, I'll be honest with you, that, you know, you kind of look at the pattern, and if anybody's going to say anything, it's going to be him. So these boys claim Michael Jackson sexually assaulted him. I don't believe it. I don't. What else was there? So in one part, and toward the end of the show, it was the last probably, it was the second part, like probably an hour. It was close to the end of the second part, and one of the gentlemen, I believe it was Wade, who was a choreographer, a dancer, who at the time was working, I believe it was in 2008, was working in Vegas, and he was choreographing the show. And he was working in Vegas, and he found out Michael Jackson was staying. I don't know if he'd come to town for whatever reason, but Michael Jackson was staying in Vegas. Well, one of them reached out to the other one, and this is how I look at it. If this guy sexually assaulted this boy, this man who's a man now, if he sexually assaulted him, I would think he would want to stay far away from him. Right? Well, he doesn't. He actually agrees to meet with Michael Jackson, with his family, with the who's now a man. I'll call him Wade. Okay, who is now a man now with his own family, and he's married. He agrees to meet with Michael Jackson and drink and have wine. Like, what the fuck? Like, if this really happened, why are you going to meet with him again? You know what I mean? Why he's, like I said, I can't remember who reached out to who, but the point is, this guy Wade agrees to meet with Michael Jackson at Michael Jackson's place, and he goes there and he goes and drinks wine with the guy. Like, if any of the sexual assault was true, why are you meeting with him 20-something years later? You know what I mean? That in itself shows innocence. I don't know. I don't get it. And that's in this film. That I'm debunking it because that is this is in the film. This isn't research I found. This part is in the film. And another thing, one of the men that claims sexual assault, for years, their mother knew that her son, who was 7 or 8 or 9 at the time, was sleeping in the same bed as Michael Jackson. Well, she slept in the room next door. She knew he was in the same bed. Okay? So if these men are trying to sue the Michael Jackson estate and they're trying to get money, I don't know why they're doing it, but if they are, then this mother should be arrested as well for allowing her son to stay in, because she knew, and that also is in the film. That is in the film. She says she knew he was sleeping in the same bed as Michael Jackson. So why did you allow that to happen? You know, I don't think any of the sexual assault allegations are true. I don't. No, I just don't. I just dove into a couple of details, but you know, the biggest thing that I saw was, the more I watched the film, the more I realized this isn't a documentary. This is a slander. Okay, and this guy, Dan Reed, should never get behind the camera again. I don't know if somebody who has allegations against Michael Jackson was funding this project. I don't know why the film was made, but it's the whole 4 hours is a complete and total slander against Michael Jackson. That's all it is. There's nothing to back up anything. Very, very little of what they say is backed up. I mean, if anything, you know, I just didn't. I watched it because I was curious to know their allegations. But if you watch it, I suggest you do. You're going to notice there's nothing backing up what anything these men are saying now. There's nothing to back it up. It's a one-sided. It's a one-sided film, and it doesn't shed light on anything. That's my opinion. I don't think. Do I think he was innocent of? Do I think Michael Jackson was innocent of sexual assault? I do. Was he weird? And he had like no, he had no real friends, no like grown up friends. Well, the guy didn't. The guy didn't have a childhood. So the way he does it is he opens this Neverland Ranch, and it's kind of weird. I would never allow my children to go there and live there, like some of these families did, and they knew what was going on. They knew they were sleeping in the same bed as this 30 or 40-year-old man, but I wouldn't allow that to happen as a parent, as a father, as a parent. I would never allow that to happen. You know, they open up the Neverland Ranch, have, you know, kids go and play. That's one thing, but to allow them to sleep over and allow that to continue to happen, that's on you. That's on the parents. Okay, so, you know, do I think what he was doing was weird and maybe, you know, wrong? Yes, it was. But was he sexually assaulting these kids? I don't think so whatsoever. Show me evidence. Show me evidence. I don't think he was. I really don't. But again, weird activity, kind of odd, sleeping in the same bed. But you know, at least one of the parents knew what was going on, and they didn't do anything to stop it. But again, I don't think he was sexually assaulting these kids. I don't. That's my stand. That's my voice. I'd like to know what you think. Do a video. Alrighty? And keep it G-rated. Okay? Keep it G-rated, please. And that's it. That's my opinion. I think Leaving Neverland, HBO movie or documentary, whatever you want to call it, Leaving Neverland was not a very good documentary. It just wasn't. Not at all. And if you watch it, you may agree, you may disagree, that's okay. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, and see you on the flip side.